Let's get on to Elizabeth Warren, because fam loves Elizabeth Warren, don't you, fam?
Well, the mainstream media, specifically MSNBC, have been on a rant against Bernie Sanders, as many of you know.
No, they haven't.
Oh, right. It's all made up. But let's just show this video, and I want you guys to listen to what they're saying about Bernie and Elizabeth Warren.
What I think is interesting is that Elizabeth Warren she's bringing this whole coalition together that is slightly different from the Sanders coalition of 2016. African Americans, younger people, obviously Bernie Sanders had some of the young millennials, but she's building this broader coalition that's more diverse and more sustainable in the long run. Bernie Sanders was never able to do that in 2016 with one other candidate in the race. And it's just a fascinating dynamic.
She also has a better ground game than people have given her.
Oh, organizationally, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Huge ground game.
I thought it was interesting today, a lot of theorizing. What does an economic downturn do? Is this good for Biden, bad for Warren, good for Warren, good? And I've heard Dual sort of say, well, actually, it could help both Warren and Biden for a time. Bill, where are you on this?
I mean, of course, it's hard to tell. I think it helps Warren, I guess. I have to say, because I think, look, the key question for me on Warren is she reassuring enough to swing voters, both within the Democratic primaries and then ultimately the general election, or not? Is she more like Sanders, whom I regard as unacceptable to an awful lot of these swing voters, a lot of people who voted for Hillary and so forth? Or is she more like, could she end up being acceptable to people whose first instinct is to go for normalcy and go for Biden? I don't know the answer to that. I think she's moved to being more acceptable during the course of this campaign. I don't buy at all, incidentally, that Sanders, I mean, Sanders could try to stay in. He could stay in 2016 because it was just him and Hillary. If Warren beats Sanders in Iowa and New Hampshire, Sanders is gone. He can stay in.
Right.
No one's going to vote for him.
Andrea is right.
No one's going to vote for him. But he won't get 15% of the vote. He'll get no delegates.
The thing about Warren, where I think you're correct, Warren has an economic message, but it is broader than Bernie's and it's more detailed.
Yeah, no, there's a competency issue that I think threshold that she can cross quicker. Anyway, Andrea, Bill, Adrian, thank you all. Happy Friday.
All right, so this is why I have to do a separate Warren video, because I need to address all of this, and I don't have time to rant.
Serious.
But let me just state a few facts here, because these people are full of shit.
Poo-poo-ka-choo.
Warren's base is 71% white. Bernie's base is 48% white. Elizabeth Warren has 49% of female support, while Bernie Sanders has 53% of female support. Bernie 2020 has over 1 million volunteers and 850,000 and counting more donors than all of the candidates combined, including Donald Trump. And we have this here with the profiles of the supporters of the leading Democratic candidates, where you can see all of this data, and you can see the ages, and you can see how many people of color and how many women and how many religious and white, and just you can see it, and it's there. It's a fact. So to say that Warren has more broad support that's diverse is an absolute lie. Yet there are all these pundits getting paid millions of dollars to sit there and lie to you, are telling you something as if they're dismissing Sanders as if he's completely unelectable, when the reality is he's the only electable one out of those people that were mentioned. Literally the only one that can be Donald Trump. And anyone that says that no, any of them can be Trump is an idiot. And is an idiot and is going to hand Donald Trump the election.
Well, it's Bill Kristol, the warmongering jerk-off. And on MSNBC, the new liberal station, has Kristol. And then Andrea, what's her name? Andrea, who's Alan Greenspan's wife, right? Andrea Mitchell. And she's going to sit there and say that Elizabeth Warren has a broader explanation of economics and policy than Bernie Sanders. GTFOH.
And let's be clear here. Bernie Sanders represents class warfare. That's why they dismiss him. They're saying that he doesn't appeal. He actually appeals to the majority of people, but they're scared because he represents them being taken down. And I have a freaking tweet I put up with Bernie Sanders' real estate tax bill, which gives 77% on the value of an estate of over $1 billion, meaning he's going to eat the rich. The Walton family would pay up to $147 billion in estate taxes. Mars family, $98 billion. The Koch family, $96 billion. 99.8% of Americans who inherited under $3.5 million would pay nothing. And that is why they're scared, because they know that Bernie Sanders represents the working and the middle class rising up and saying, no more. This is we're done with this.
I have a question, though. What do you think? Should we pan sear them and bake them in the oven with a little buffalo glaze on the Rothschilds? I mean, or maybe we should slow smoke them. Or we can blanch them. We can take the Rothschilds, the
I'll let you
Cokes,
take care of
we
that.
can put them in the boiling water, then put them in an ice bath, and then saute them with a little broccolini, olive oil, and with salt and pepper. I mean, I want to eat the rich so bad because what the elites have been doing in this country, and even in the Epstein thing we're going to get to tomorrow, it's disgusting what they're doing, and it's time to take them down. And I really love what you put up, fam, because it's all broad. Because people understand the message. If we're going to be living in this monetary system, we're all dark when the lights go out. We all share the same problem. Okay? And that was said by Reverend Barber, and that's who Bernie Sanders appeals to. The people who want real solutions, bread and butter solutions. They don't harp on your feelings, they harp on policy. And Bernie Sanders has been there for 40 years straight, strong on his policy for all poor people and workers.
So how
more than
dare you
anything.
say that his economic plan, he's literally leading with an economic plan, telling you exactly how he's going to pay for every single thing. And the only people that should be worried about his economic plan are the rich, the very, very rich. Not even if you are okay, the very, very rich. And look who's worried about Bernie, who's dismissing him. These conglomerate companies who are owned by billionaires. Obviously, it is all connected, and I think people need to stop, stop trying to believe that that's not the case. This is the reality here.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here, to tell you all of this.
That's why we're in our basement doing better news than the mainstream media. I mean, seriously, why is Bill Kristol, who's gotten everything wrong, Max Boot, all these people, they're still putting on. They got everything wrong, but it's okay. We look at their numbers on YouTube. They keep on going down.
And those
the
polls
views keep on dropping.
Those polls are ridiculous. 31% Biden?
Yeah.
Are you serious? I have yet to meet one Biden supporter. A single one in the Democratic California. Like, this is
I
just
met one.
bullshit.
He said, that's beyond my purview. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to get out of here. Johnny Tsunami, you got anything else to end the show? We go get some dinner. We're going to go some tomorrow. We're going to do a lot of Epstein stuff. We're also going to be breaking down this week Elizabeth Warren by feet, and we're also going to be talking about the data dump on Google and the gentleman out there who's floating, and he's been talking to a lot of people about what is going on in Google and how they're suppressing information and what they did exactly to Tulsi Gabbard, and she has a $50 million lawsuit against them. Down to the algorithms. Because here's the thing. They say, it's the algorithm that got you. You didn't get your monetization on YouTube because of our algorithm. Guess what? That algorithm was written by a human being. So don't forget that. So thank you very much to everybody watching on the Twitch.
Thank you, guys.
On the Twitter. On the Facebook. On the YouTube. Thank you for subscribing to our Patreon. Hit the bell. Like, share, subscribe. For Pasta Jardula.
And Fiora Isabel.
Johnny Tsunami.
Combo out.
Bye
Guys.
everybody. See you tomorrow. We love you. 23,000. It's on you. Thank you.
Woo.